The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by Mid Carolina Service Company.
Mid Carolina Service Company is the first name to search for your residential or commercial HVAC needs in Lexington and surrounding areas.
Just go holler at Jason and Clint. They'll hook you up on the air conditioners, on the restaurant equipment, refrigerators, refrigeration, ice machine repair. They've been doing this for years. I know them cats forever.
Family owned and operated since 2006, they pride themselves in their quality work and customer relationships. Call 803-356-4153 or visit midcarolinaserviceco.com for a no obligation quote for service today. This episode of Hilltop Glove Podcast is proudly sponsored by Your Dollar Store, located at 3017 Farrell Road in Columbia, South Carolina. Owned by Brian Thomas, Your Dollar Store has been serving the community since June 2021 with a mission to provide fresh produce and essential household items to neighborhoods in need, serving areas like Booker, Washington Heights, and other nearby locations affected by grocery store closures. Your Dollar Store is a convenient one-stop shop for those seeking healthier food options and affordable essentials. Support a local business that's dedicated to giving back. Your Dollar Store, where you can shop, chat, and leave with a smile.
The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by True Brilliance Entertainment.
True Brilliance is a production, promotions, and management company dedicated to connecting artists and producers across the Carolinas to music industry professionals.
Several of their clients have placements both domestic and internationally as a result of their services.
Are you an artist or producer looking to build meaningful relationships within the music industry? Then True Brilliance is for you. Check them out at paramilitary.com. That's spelled P-A-I-R-A military.com.
Welcome to the Hilltop Glove Podcast.
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 The Hilltop Glove Podcast.
Welcome back to another exciting season of the Hilltop Glove Podcast. We are thrilled to kick off season 5 with an extraordinary guest. Tatrina White. Yeah, season 5. I can't eat. Man, it's crazy.
5 seasons, man. 5 years we've been doing this.
Yeah.
It's fun, though.
Yeah, it is. And we haven't given up, which is good. Tatrina is the visionary owner of The Purple Mushroom, a boutique indoor urban mushroom farm located right here in Columbia, South Carolina. Tatrina pours her passion into cultivating a variety of fresh gourmet mushrooms every day. She caters to all levels of mycophiles by offering grow kits, entry-level mushroom growing supplies, and inspired mushroom products like honey, spices, and teas that her customers absolutely love. Tatrina's journey began with a personal quest to improve her diet by limiting meat consumption, which led her to the discovery of oyster mushrooms. After realizing the limited selection of fresh gourmet mushrooms in her local market, she decided to grow her own. Starting out by sharing her harvest with her family and friends, she soon expanded to small farmers markets. That's when the light bulb moment struck. She had found her passion. Starting the Purple Mushroom in a spare room in her home, Tatrina has now expanded into a 4,000 square foot warehouse. Her journey has been filled with exciting ups and downs, and she remains motivated by filling this unique niche every single day.
Yes.
How are you doing today, sister?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Man, we wonderful.
Good.
We
Yeah.
wonderful. All things
Yeah.
being considered.
Made it through a hurricane?
Yes.
We did.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, a tropical storm at least.
Right. You would think it was a major hurricane when
Yeah.
power outages are still hanging on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so just for everybody who's watching this today, look, y'all know it's amazing we here today
Right.
filming. We got power here at this location, Thanks to Love Studios, holding it down, being here for us. And we're happy to be on time and prepared, and our guests are able to make it in today.
Right.
And luckily, nothing bad happened to us.
Right.
So we're going to have an excellent show today. And we were very, I was very excited to have you in. I know Mike was telling me some cool things about what it is that you do, but
Nice.
before we get into all that stuff, something more important than that.
Okay.
Your background. So we always like to start off with each episode with a little background information. So that way our audience, anybody who's listening, they can figure a little bit about who you are and what things they may have in common with you. And that usually creates pretty good connections. So where did you grow up and do you have any siblings?
Well, my home is Norwood, Connecticut. I grew up in Connecticut.
CT.
Born and raised.
Mhm.
I've been here in the South for a while. So I'm an honorary South Carolinian.
Good.
I do have 2 brothers, biological brothers. One is here in Irmo. The other one is in North Carolina. And of course, I have some, good friends. What do you say? Sisters from another mother.
Yeah, there you go.
And so we have some really good friends. And but yeah, it's just the 3 of us. Or
Awesome.
siblings. Yes.
Awesome. And we always like to ask folks about this because it gives us some understanding of who you are and how you get to the point where you're at today.
Mhm.
Because if you've checked out our podcast, you know we are a podcast for millennials trying to figure out how to adult. And there aren't any guidelines, no books to tell you how to do it. And so when we speak to people, we want to let other folks know these are normal human beings.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And they go through trials and tribulations, different backgrounds,
That's
different, stories that get them to where they are. But the one thing that ties all of our guests together is the fact that they have been successful in doing something that they love to do.
Right.
And we like to promote that and let people know that they have those options. So who or what inspired you as a child?
I would have to say I was raised in a family full of women.
Okay.
And they just got the job done. So I would say that it would be my mom and my sisters, my grandmother, and it was just, my uncles and everybody was there too. But the women of the family just really got the job done. So I would say that they're my inspiration, and they're nurturers, they're healers, they're warriors when they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
But their ability to just get things done really inspired me, because there's no quit, there's no stop, there's no I can't do. We always was surrounded by women or individuals that were able to just handle it. We just got it done. We just got it done, and that's a Gen X thing, maybe. And,
See,
we were the generation just walk it off.
right.
We weren't doing all
seriously.
that. You have a boo boo. Yeah, just get up, go. Just walk
Your
it off.
parents was boomers.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
that's one thing that I've started noticing about this whole first of all, I'm not a huge fan of breaking everything down generation to begin with, but it works because
Yeah, it works
a lot of it is like, what generation were your parents?
Right.
Yeah, because that matters.
Right.
And so to us elder millennials,
Uh-huh.
as I'm now over 40, that's happened since last season. Now I'm over 40.
Oh, no.
Yes.
But
Blessings,
my folks
blessings.
was boomers too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there is no option. You just do it.
Yep.
And I think
no
part of
crying in
that comes
baseball.
from being raised by people that were worldwide fighting in a war.
That's right.
That whole generation just was
Standing on business for something,
right.
so
I like how you said that, standing on business.
standing on business for something. And
So sometimes you got to pop out and you got to show people.
there we go.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
exactly right.
Mhm.
And also my before getting into mushroom growing, my background is actually real estate.
Really?
So I'm a
Wow.
certified residential commercial appraiser, as well as a broker, a real estate
Okay.
broker. But my passion is mushroom growing and dealing with the fungi.
So the first time that you did this,
hmm
I know in the intro we kind of gave the story of you hunting for oyster mushrooms,
That's right.
which
Mhm.
I'm not a huge fan of the taste of most mushrooms, but I love oyster mushrooms.
Delicious.
Right.
So you brought a little display with us today. Is this kind of how you started in a bag situation like this? Or I've seen people use jars or aquariums or all kind of.
On a commercial
Things.
basis, this is what we use.
Okay.
This particular mushroom, I'm going to lean in and get it.
Go ahead.
This is actually a lion's mane mushroom. And there's a lot of buzz going on about the lion's mane.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Focus, helping with ADHD,
Mhm.
bringing in clarity.
It's been used in Chinese medicine forever.
Forever.
Mhm.
And, it's just making its wave and its splash here. Not only is it a medicinal mushroom for those purposes, it's great. Gourmet.
Oh, really?
It tastes amazing.
It tastes amazing.
Yeah, it does.
And I just want people to know that, we can move past just the white buttons in the store.
Right.
Yeah.
and the portobello and the cremini. Now I don't have anything against those mushrooms, but let's expand our palate. And so I just wanted to bring this beautiful mushroom because it's good for the brain and the way it looks. You know, it sort of kind of reminds you of the brain.
It does remind you of a brain.
You know, a lot of times you don't see the rest of this mycelium growing.
That's right.
And it really does look like a brain. I don't know how well it shows through the bag, but it's like
it's huge.
Brain tissue. Like a giant. Yeah.
And we sell these as kits, which is wonderful because you can actually see the process.
Mm-hmm.
You see the block, you see the mycelium, we call it running, and it's eating through this organic matter. And then it gets enough energy where it's forced to come out of this exit. And I think it's just such a wonderful way to see the whole process.
That's what I was about to ask you. So this is coming out of an exit that was pre-planned?
Yeah.
So it's doing what it's supposed to. That is wild to watch it in that situation. Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's a great project, for children.
Yeah,
it's
true.
a great project for adults. I get excited just watching it. I still enjoy watching the process.
So, I mean, that takes me to a little bit. Now, I know a little bit about this, but the mushroom is really the flowering part. Yes. The plant is, or you can't even really say plant because they're so different from plants.
Totally different, yes.
But the organism is all of this white that you see in the bag.
It's the mycelium. Yes, it's the mycelium that you see running through the bag. It's eating or powering from the organic material that's in here. And it's actually hardwood and soy hulls, which makes the master's mix. We also put a few other supplements in it, but we put it in this bag. Well, the process starts with grain, but that's a whole nother nerd story. But
no, give us the whole rundown. We'll nerd out on it.
So the first part of it, to get to this, the mycelium has to grow out either in a liquid culture or on agar trays. And the liquid culture is what I use in my farm. It's made of distilled water and some type of Karo syrup. That's the easiest mixture.
Wow. Okay.
We introduce spores from the mushroom into the liquid culture. That's called expanding the culture. We want to expand it out. And so once we expand the liquid culture out, I want to test the viability to see if it's pretty good. Then I will introduce it on agar tray. But if I'm in a hurry, I will go ahead and introduce it directly to the grain. The grain for me is going to be whole oats, which is easier for me to get hold to here in South Carolina.
It's kind of like I'm drawing connections between like this and like almost making bread where you've got to add the yeast and then let it grow and then test it to see if it's still alive.
That's right.
That's kind of what you're doing. Okay.
Yes. And so you want to put it grow it out, and we call it cleaning up the culture. So you can grow it out, but as you're looking in your mushroom grow and see the ones that are fruiting, you want to pick the biggest, the most prettiest, the brightest, the healthiest. And you take a piece of that mushroom and you place it on the agar tray, and that expands out. Wow. And then as you're looking through the agar tray, you want to sort of kind of isolate the strongest piece of mycelium. There's usually something that stands out.
So you're actually kind of like doing your own selection, unnatural selection to get what you're looking for.
Because you want to present, the best on the market. And so although we're a small farm, we're strong. We're we want to be.
You can do it by hand,
right? And so we grab that piece and then we'll grow that out. So each run you're growing the strongest, the tastiest, the healthiest mushroom variety, and then you start to have your own culture selection. Because when I started off, I had to buy it.
Right. Right.
But now I have my own catalog, my own grow, my own liquid
They're like
culture.
heirloom mushrooms.
Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah.
What? You don't think about it because we don't.
Well, some people do. I mean, truffles are not a cheap product.
They are. Yeah, seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this particular lion's mane is actually a South Carolina's lion's mane. It was a guy who foraged it for me and brought it to me. And I was able to culture it off in here. It's been kicking ever since.
I didn't know we had native lion's manes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It blows my mind.
Well, so then they do better in the environment.
Yeah.
And so this is one of those places where my very scientific upbringing, since Bill Nye told me I was a scientist, and I absolutely believe it. And then my pseudoscience weirdo start mixing together because mushrooms get real weird. Like, There are some legit studies that show that birch trees communicate with each other and actually transfer nutrients through mushrooms.
Absolutely.
So one tree would need something, another tree would have it, and then the mushrooms would send it through their root systems. Yeah, which is the weirdest thing, but it actually like shows plant-to-plant communication and
Absolutely.
cooperation.
Yeah.
The whole family tree of mushrooms is so far away from everything else that we have.
They chit-chat all the time.
Right.
Yeah. They chatter. That's most of the time when you see like mushrooms in cartoons.
Yeah.
They're whispering because they bring the news. And so when you step in and it touch the mycelium, they just let everybody know someone just entered the forest, do your thing. And you want to know why that stump that's in your yard that was cut down 5 years ago, it still has fresh limbs and stuff growing on it because this mycelium is bringing the nutrients from other trees.
Oh,
they're trying to keep it, trying to help it.
Yeah, because they know it's hurt.
Yeah, well, and it's got the root system in place. Like that's the hardest thing for a tree to do. It should be able to shoot straight up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the way that you said that about this mushroom, I guess got to be a little nicer to the mushroom.
And that's why when people start talking about values of mushroom, particularly neurological values of mushrooms, for cognitive abilities and for regrowing neural damage after injuries, that's what they do.
That's exactly. And they're wonderful in the, so you have your gourmet sector. That's what the chefs are clamoring for and individuals. And then you have the medicinal part. They're taking down inflammation. Turkey tail is being studied to assist the body in helping with cancer. We have reishi bringing down anxiety. Lion's mane, once again, for neurological. Cordyceps for energy, endurance, and individuals that may need a little help with libido is there for that as well.
Hey.
Chaga, which is wonderful for the gut, inflammation. So, and then I'm working on just learning how to put them together. So you can take different ones, put them together, and then you have a whole nother set of assistance for the body to help the body to repair itself.
I see. So with actual combinations create a different outcome.
Combinations help with something totally different.
That's getting pretty hard medicinal there.
It is, once again, as you're getting older, women, we're dealing with menopause, and that is popping up, and you can use different combinations for that to assist. We have brain fog. We're forgetting. We think something is going on, but it's just your body moving through its natural changes, which is, really not discussed enough in the health field for women. But there's different things that can help with that as well.
So I take your cordyceps, lion's mane, and reishi mix every day. And I recently had COVID, and for like 2-3 weeks afterward, the brain fog was just crushing me.
Right.
And then I realized, oh, wait, I've got cordyceps in the cupboard. And I got off of them during the COVID because you just forget to take all your things. And that helped pop it right back up again.
It pops it right back out.
Which cordyceps is one of those weird ones because, like, y'all have seen the little ants that climb the thing and then and then they turn into a mushroom. And The Last of Us, they say the cordyceps is what is, but there's like, there's so many cordyceps.
they
the cordyceps took over.
But they do increase oxygen, I guess, in your brain. Is that
stamina and lung capacity, and they're wonderful. Your workout is just not getting it like it used to. Try some cordyceps.
You don't need to take chemicals.
Right.
I was almost off of caffeine. I have since given up that for the current time frame, but I was almost off of caffeine using cordyceps.
And so just so I can understand this a little more, because I know I was looking at your products, and I mean, we always like to talk about health benefits and nutrition. So Mike was telling me about the cordyceps, and these are tinctures?
They are. So tinctures are the most concentrated way to receive the benefits of the mushrooms. And so they are tinctures. So we have cordyceps. Once again, it's good for energy. It's anti-inflammatory as well, good for the immune system. Lion's mane for memory, recall, and clarity. We have turkey tail, which is wonderful for cell repair. Anybody who's going through the process where the body is being broken down, Introducing turkey tail can really assist the body in repairing itself.
Okay.
Taking out anxiety and having that well-being feeling, you're going to go for the reishi. Chaga, once again, is good for gut health, another anti-inflammatory. So these particular, I deal with 5. And I've also went ahead and combined all 5 of them to make one bottle that anybody who wants, like, I don't know which one I need to take.
I was going to ask, what's that one called?
I just need to go ahead and just take them all.
Yeah, it's like a superfood.
Yeah, and it's called the High Five. So mushrooms really have a solidified place in your diet. It really does. You know, you have vitamin B, vitamin D, copper in them, beta glucans, polysaccharides, all this stuff
in the mushroom.
It's in the mushroom. We see the benefits.
So this is going to get to the point I'm going to ask you. So you had a process where you were trying not to eat so much meat.
Right.
And you were replacing meat with mushrooms?
I was, yeah.
All right, could you tell us about that process? Because I know we're in the South. If folks like barbecue, I don't know if you can barbecue mushrooms yet, but don't let you start. All right, there you go. I was about to say, you might change it up.
Deep fry them anyway.
Deep fry. Because I guess, especially here, I mean, the idea of eating animals, getting your meat products and et cetera, is just a big thing to especially for culture wise, to subvert it and replace it with another product. You really have to explain to somebody why it is just as beneficial, if not better. So if you could explain a little bit to our audience why and how you can use mushrooms in your normal, just like daily cooking, right. I think that'd be excellent. It's something for them to understand and hear.
So I just want to say, we don't have to replace all meat at one time.
Understood.
Just try a meatless Monday. So on Monday, we're just not going to do meat this Monday. Mushrooms are so versatile. They can be fried. They can be baked, stewed. I just made some mushroom jerky. Absolutely delicious.
Mushroom jerky?
Yeah.
Oh.
I should have brought you some. Mushroom jerky. This particular lion's mane on Instagram, now I haven't done it myself, but people are making it into like steaks. They're like marinating it, turning it into lion's mane steaks and all kind of wonderful stuff. Now, you don't have to be that fancy if you're looking to
say, how hard is it to do that?
Right. Yeah. Mushrooms into your diet. I have it with my eggs, grits in the morning. I saute my mushrooms up, just a light saute. Put them on anything. You can have a baked potato for dinner. You can saute your mushrooms, add some vegetables on it, and now you have a loaded baked potato. So you don't have to, and people say, well, how do you cook them? Mushrooms are versatile. You can throw them in with anything. You know?
I was about to say, it's funny because it's not like people don't, like we don't know how to cook mushrooms.
You need them raw, so you can't really mess it up.
Yeah, you can't mess it up.
And so I want to address that as well. For the individuals that eat raw mushrooms, I want to tell you this. Mushrooms have a substance called chitin on the outside. Yeah. It's a hard shell. And to receive all the benefits I was just telling you about, mushrooms should be exposed to heat.
Really?
So it'll break it down, and then your body can absorb the benefits of the mushrooms. So we try not to eat raw mushrooms. I mean, you can, but it enhance the flavor for number one, and then you're able to receive the benefits better with it. Even individuals that forage mushrooms, morels for instance, although they're not toxic, exposing them to heat will allow the body to digest them better. Red wine caps as well. So you do want to take your time and expose it to some heat. The mushrooms that they're tossing on top of your salad, you know, I mean, you can eat them, but you just, they're in and out. You know, you want to at least put some heat to them.
It's similar to spinach in the sense, like people eat raw spinach, but technically you're supposed to heat spinach.
Gotta wilt it.
Yes. Yeah. If not, your body can't die because we don't have 4 stomachs. Right. So our body goes in and it's out, it's going. You ain't getting nothing out of it. Yeah, right? So same thing with a mushroom. Right. And it makes sense, especially with the chitin, to break down the chitin so that you can actually get into the nutrients that's behind those walls.
Nutrients of it. Right.
That's awesome.
Now, you know, the same way a cow is jumping in and breaking down the stuff we can't. That's what the mushrooms are doing.
Yeah.
Because you said it's living off of hardwood and
Soy hulls.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where it's getting all that good nutrients.
It loves organic, and mushrooms are wonderful. They're a wonderful, sustainable crop for urban farming. Not so much energy, like 1.8 gallons of water per pound of mushrooms compared to 20 gallons of water for other things.
Right.
It doesn't require a huge footprint. So that takes the carbon footprint down.
Mm-hmm.
So, mushrooms are really, they're and maybe I may be a little biased, but
No, that's what we want to hear. Because we hear the other bias that's fighting for making sure that we're producing cattle in Brazil. So,
well, we're plowing under half the world to make corn, which ain't exactly the best.
Yeah, give some bias.
So you can definitely start in a small space if you want to grow, whether you're growing to sell or growing just to feed your family. It's a wonderful crop to have, a wonderful urban crop.
So
surely.
What is the turnaround time on one of these bags like this from like when you...
From start to finish, from lab work to actually harvesting the fruit, you're looking between 6 to 9 weeks. Sometimes 4 to 9 weeks to get what you need.
Not bad.
That's significantly faster than agriculture.
Yeah. And you don't have to worry. This is another thing, just so if you can explain this to folks, like, are you worrying about exposure to light? Do you have temperature issues that you need to worry about? When you're growing these things, like, the environment, does it need to be sterile?
So when I first started in regards to sterile environment, I used to almost dress like a hazmat suit because I wanted to be so sterile. I wasn't breathing on it. You can just see my eyes through this thing. And it was an overkill. Okay. They've been on the planet for millions of years. They don't need me.
Obviously. All right, I got you.
Stuff. They don't need, they don't require me to do all that. But you do want to have a pretty clean environment. Yeah. And so in regards to the process, we grow indoors, we grow inside tents, and this is a controlled environment agriculture. So we control the air, we control the light, we control the water, and it's different all the time, depending on what we're growing.
Really?
And so, well, why is it different all the time if you're growing the same thing? If I put 300 blocks in, I need to dial it in differently. If I put 100 blocks in, I need to dial it in differently. Because they're like air like we do.
Oh.
And, they're breathing out, the bad carbon dioxide. Yeah. And so they want fresh air coming in. So the more blocks you have, the more fresh air you have to put in.
Because they're breathing.
They're breathing. So you have to dial it in all the time. And even though I take notes and I'm like, okay, last time I had it set on such, this time it's different. So you have to watch it. It's always a dance between having the environment just right.
So you feel like a winemaker.
I wish.
That's what it sounds like. You sound like a winemaker.
Is that what happens?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because you literally have to you make your wine depends on the varietal. When you pull it, what crew it comes off of or level it comes off of. Okay. And then when you're actually making the wine, how you turn in the bottle, what temperature you have that bottle at. Right. All that stuff matters and creates the taste. Yeah, this is why I was like, I'm listening to you talk about this. I'm like, these mushrooms are a little bit more fancy than I thought they was.
Well, it's that microbial too. Yeah. Wine, you're trying to keep one of these little microbes alive too.
You're trying to keep microbes alive. So all that does make sense. That makes more sense.
Go. Yeah. There you go.
So does this mushroom in this bag, does it have a name?
Doug. So
Doug. What's up, Doug? How you doing, Doug? I had to ask. I just wanted to know, because you know how when people grow plants, they'll give them names and they'll speak to their plants and stuff like that. Do you do that with your mushrooms?
I talk to my mushrooms when they're putting me in a bind. I'm like, listen, I told these people that you were going to be ready yesterday. And now you want to, come on, get it together. But other than that, no, we
y'all have a working relationship.
We have a working relationship.
All right.
They know what's up. Look, I need to get this stuff done. And it's like, okay, we're going to sleep. And then I don't come in, till late the next day and everybody is out. I'm like, oh my goodness. So now I have to harvest everything,
wow.
because they double in size. Wow. Every 24 hours. I'm like, oh, this is how you going to do me.
So you do have to move quickly on.
You have to move quickly. Okay. You have to move quickly in the lab, even when we're putting it on agar. it'll take over the agar tray. I mean, you really have to keep it moving because they are aggressive. They are super aggressive.
And your light inputs for this are not what you would think of for growing indoors, right? Like you don't have giant grow lights like we would think of for indoor agriculture because they don't really need it that much. Just to know which direction's up, really.
That's it. You know, we just have some LED lights, some cool lights going around. We tried the antibacterial lights. We tried all type of lights, but they respond better to just the regular cool LED string lights. It's 12 hours on and 12 hours off. They like it really simple.
Just to know what it is.
That's it. Wow. They don't want to do all the extra stuff. And you can get in. Now, we're a boutique farm. We're a boutique low-tech farm. So we don't have a lot of fancy equipment. But we do use what we have on hand. And it works for us. You know, it works well for us. And the mushrooms don't require all that. I see the videos with all the fancy stuff. And it's nice. You know, it's nice to use. But we make it work with what we have.
And it makes sense because, like you said, they've been around forever. Why would they need?
Themselves.
I'm gonna help you.
They ain't gonna be here after we're done with it.
They're gonna be after.
Grown out of us.
They're gonna be grown out of you.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah. So
not these people. Not.
Don't say they're scared of people. Invasion of the body snatchers going on. That's not what's happening.
She almost had me eating mushrooms.
This is gonna take over me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
They're just very prolific creatures of some sort.
They're fancy.
I like them. I love mushrooms. I think they're amazing.
Mushrooms
they taste good.
Are absolutely amazing. Yeah. And we give classes as well. We have a class coming up October 5th. It is an adult class. We're going to learn to grow some mushrooms, have a little bit of adult beverages, and a mushroom coffee bar. So you can enjoy the coffee.
That's what I wanted to hear
about this.
If you could speak to ours a little bit about what is mushroom coffee.
So there is another brand on the market, and they have a mushroom coffee that they market. And basically, it's mushroom powder.
Okay. I like that. Straight away.
This straight mushroom powder, and I've tried it, and it's cool. You know, mushroom powder is a wonderful thing. Now, I have a mushroom coffee that actually have coffee in it. And so it's a blend of coffee and mushrooms. So my thing is, I'm a coffee drinker. So if I'm going to enjoy a nice cup of coffee, let me add some benefits to it. Okay. So we have chaga. Once again, it's good for the gut. Cordyceps for energy and endurance, but not jittery energy. Okay. Lion's mane for recall, reishi to bring down anxiety, and once again, turkey tail for cell repair. So all 5 of those mushrooms are inside the coffee. So you can enjoy some coffee and be good and enjoy some health benefits as well.
What kind of coffee do you blend with your mushroom?
It's Arabica. It's just a basic, nice, smooth coffee. You don't have that push like you usually get with that strong stomach. Coffee.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Stomach.
We don't have that. So you can enjoy it. You can enjoy that.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to bother you about that.
You might have to learn how to grow mushrooms.
Yeah, seriously. I know someone was trying to teach me a process of matter of fact, that was you. You were teaching about putting them into the logs. Like injecting
I've been doing that outside.
And then letting it grow out the log.
Yeah, just stacking up old wood and throwing.
Because we're about to have a lot of wood to work with.
Oh, absolutely. And you want to use it as fresh. Get the wood as fresh as you can. You want to get it pretty fresh. And hardwood, nothing sappy, pine, nothing like that. Get some hardwood and, drill some holes and get some myceliated dowels and put it into your logs. Seal it up with some wax because bugs like mushrooms too.
Oh,
and so you want to seal it up and give it time to. Now this is a long way around, but done correctly, you'll be enjoying it for years to come.
Oh, it will just keep.
Because once it's there. Yeah. So what I did was I took a bag like this after the mushrooms had been harvested.
Nice.
And I have these. They're called hugelkultures, but they're basically just buried hardwood. And then you put dirt over the top of it, wood chips, and it makes like a sponge as they turn into a mushroom pit. So I threw that bag over the
Get in there.
so they're in the wood, and like every now and then stuff will pop up. Now I don't trust my own mushroom foraging abilities enough to harvest that way, but the experiment
it's nice
worked.
to see it.
I was going to ask,
It's nice to see
is there
it.
a way to test to see if a mushroom will hurt you or not?
You know,
Being a really good
it's
forager.
just like a. You can test it. It might just be one time you test it, So, no, I'm not a forager.
That's what I was gonna ask.
I
Yeah.
don't recommend you
Okay.
trying
Okay.
mushrooms outside. I
Yeah.
don't eat. I don't eat. I don't eat wild mushrooms. I
Okay.
enjoy if I come across a chanterelle and someone cooked it in something, I'm going to eat it.
All right. All right.
I won't
Yeah.
forage a lot, but I don't forage mushrooms.
Okay.
And what I've been told is that you really you can't do it from a book. Somebody's got to teach you because
That's
everything
right.
looks different when it's growing in the
Right.
wild.
That's what I was wondering.
And a lot of lookalikes. It may look like that, but something is different about it. So I just don't. I admire mushrooms. I get out. I take pictures. I'll stop on the side of the road. I love to see them and everything, but I leave them.
Leave them as they are.
I leave them.
Leave them as they are.
So I grow them indoors. So everything I grow, I know I put it in there. I put
Right.
that pink oyster in there. So when I harvest it, I know for a fact.
It's supposed to be that.
That's
I can
right.
eat
Oh
it.
man, I saw
put
a
it there.
beautiful pink oyster at the zoo the other day, and I could. I mean, it was as big as my
Grab it.
head.
Oh my goodness.
It was growing on a stump, and I was like, I
Seriously?
know it's an oyster. I know it is, but I'm not
But
going
you
to.
can't touch it. You can't touch it. That's like the question that everybody asks. How did they figure out they could eat that one, not the other one? I was like, well, I guess
Well,
somebody died or got sick.
No, you know what it is before we were pumping our bodies full of toxins, you could tell. You could put a little piece in your mouth, and your body would tell you.
It'll be like, nope.
Yeah, but now we just eat so many toxins we can't tell. The
Body's
difference.
confused.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's hydrogenated oil. I guess it's okay.
Well,
Exactly, right?
I guess it's okay.
I think it probably was a little bit of on-the-job training at the moment.
Sure.
And Doug was like, I'm going to go for it.
Go for it.
And then everybody saw Doug not with us the next day. So
Yeah.
we know for a fact
You know, you don't
they're
eat
not
that.
eating that
Don't
one.
eat that
Yeah,
one.
nope, those are the special mushrooms. Take them to the temple.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
and the next thing you know, someone ate a mushroom and they've seen the future.
Yeah.
You know? And now you have
Yeah.
shamans.
Yo. Yeah, shaman. Yay. Well, man, on your website, you also have honey.
Yes.
Can you explain the process of that honey and how do you get that honey made?
So the honey is a blend of local honey from bees. I didn't really believe I had to say that once upon a time. But I
Mushroom
did.
honey.
That's
Really?
right.
Is there vegan honey now?
That's what they was like. Did the mushrooms make the
Oh,
honey?
no.
Like, no.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Mushrooms do not make honey.
Think about it. Yeah, they
but
were
the honey will
asked.
preserve the mushrooms.
Yes. So it's a blend
I know about this.
of local honey blended with the mushrooms and a little razzle dazzle. And you're able to have the benefits of honey and mushrooms
At the same time.
and at the same time. So this is more of a apothecary type honey. It's not your cooking honey. So
Okay.
you're not pulling it out,
Okay.
for cooking purposes. Wonderful to put in your cabinet. Flu season, sneeze season is coming up. And you feel a little tickle coming on and you want to add it to your coffee or whatever. Or just take a teaspoon of it and just take it, straight. And it is a medicinal honey.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get some of that. I'm gonna get some of that. I just thought that was so cool when I saw that on the website. I was like, ooh,
Yes.
honey.
It's a
mushrooms.
medicinal honey.
This is like fairly new in
I've
the
never seen that before in my
market
life.
now.
it's-
I've seen it in other places starting to pop up. I guess it's trending.
It's super new.
Oh.
It's something I put together and I spied it a while ago out somewhere. And I'm like, But they had different things in the honey. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, why not mushrooms in the honey?
Oh, I see what you're
know?
saying. Oh, so you were inspired.
I was inspired by
Okay.
that. And I'm
Okay.
like, why not other things in the honey? And I started making the honey and I realized this is really good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is, I'm not pulling it out to put on my toast, but I put it in my tea when I as soon as I feel a little something going on.
Put it
The
in.
mushrooms is going down. I'm taking it.
And have you,
that way.
and with you saying that, have you seen, especially if you could just tell our audience, like, have you seen any benefits with your health immediately or within like 6 to 9 months after making sure that mushrooms were a part of your diet and your everyday?
Absolutely. I used to be clamoring to get home to take a nap. I was just exhausted. And I really didn't do a lot to be
Tired
so
like that.
exhausted and tired, just regular stuff. But I really just needed a nap. I started, once I removed some of the meat from my diet and introduced the mushrooms as well as some of the medicinal mushrooms. I don't go a day without taking something, mushroom wise. I can tell instantly with my energy levels. When I hit the bed now, I'm definitely going to sleep because I put the work in.
You work.
I work and put the work in. Even thought wise, even without having this rambling mind, not able to sit still because thoughts are absolutely everywhere. It's here, there, it's everywhere. It's brain fog. It's just too much going on. I was better able to organize my thoughts, get through my day. I had a plan. I planned my day. I stayed focused, and I did what I needed to do. So that definitely helped out a lot. And I believe being able to focus and plan my day without doing so much scattered stuff, as well as bringing, having more energy, really helped my health. My outlook for my day and my week, because it was just a lot internally going on. I'm not vegan. I don't think I would take that route. But I do make it my business not to have meat on days. I don't have to have meat every day. I don't have to eat meat every day.
Right.
So with that being said, I make sure to incorporate more mushrooms in my diet. And I know that has been the biggest change for me. Just having the focus and having the energy, that alone has just made such a big difference.
It lowers your stress level.
Yes.
It keeps you like you aren't
that
scrambling.
well-being, keep my hand off the horn.
I was about to say,
I don't have to blow at every little thing. Everything doesn't have to be, addressed with a horn blow. I'm cool. I'm fine.
So cool now.
Yeah. Even when I'm on hold and I'm sorry for the long hold. We're trying to get things done.
Yep.
Take your time. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm going to make it. I'm going to survive it. So,
yeah. Mushrooms are chill.
Yeah. I like
worry
to hear
about
that.
nothing.
Yeah. Especially, you ready? Especially the people that listen to our show. We need to hear that because I mean.
It's an epidemic of stress right now and anxiety.
And fast. Quick.
Right.
Hurry.
Right. Everyone is in a rush. Take some time. Be easy.
See?
Be easy.
Be easy. And he's saying it's coming from CT. Be easy.
That's it.
Be easy. Relax.
Right.
So I know we want to wrap up, but before we wrap up, we always want to give you time to do your shameless plugs and promotion because you got to do that. It's free. It's free good business. Once you do that, but would you just touch on how you balance? And you're already talking about this though, but it's very important for us to talk about work and life balance. Being able to do your work, do your business, and then also make sure that you're putting in the energy into your life, the people around you that matter. Right. How are you able to do those things and keep this business rolling?
I'm grateful for flexibility. So because I'm an entrepreneur, as well as my husband, we have a lot of flexibility.
Okay.
Sometimes quality time and family time will look like work. Meaning, we will come to the farm together and get some things done. Because if I just go and everyone is at home, then it's going to be, a while before I get home to get there to spend some time. But if we all come to the farm to get some stuff done or to help him get what he needs to get done, we can get done faster and get, out to the world what we want to do.
That's a family farm. That's a family
farm.
A long time ago.
Break everything down, work together.
So, sometimes family time maybe disguised as work.
Wink.
Just remember that. Just like when I used to tell my son, we're gonna go wash the car.
Yay!
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I need to keep that in mind more often.
Yeah.
So just
kids love it.
They love it, and just the flexibility of it, and it's not going to be a plan. Get rid of the list It's not going to go A, B, C, D. Sometimes we're starting at Z, back to J, maybe K. We might get to A, but it's okay. You know, as long as we stay there. And once I got rid of how I wanted my day to just go tick, 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 which aggravated me because it didn't go that way. So now we flow with it. We flow with the day. I know what I want to have accomplished. And if I don't get it done, you know, in order or all at one time, it's okay. We're going to get to it.
Yep.
You know, we're going to get through it. We're going to be back here Thursday and Friday, and we have time to get it done.
That's an awesome way to think about it. I like that. That's a real awesome way.
So, you know, just breathe through it. It's going to work out. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right.
I think it's important for our audience to hear, especially I know we talked about at the beginning, the different generations and how we think about getting things done, et cetera.
Yeah.
I think there is some positives to understand that you got to get work done.
Right.
And there's also positives to understand that you got to be able to relax and also be with your family and enjoy them at the same time. Got to have balance.
When you make that transition to being your own boss,
yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
There's like this mentality that I have to be disciplined. I have to keep myself
all the time.
But that doesn't necessarily mean 9 to 5. Like
no.
Yeah.
Like, because that's designed for factory work, and that's not what we do in these days.
Preach.
That's definitely not. That's not it. You know. So I may be working at 12 o'clock because I need to get something done on my website, and that's fine because I enjoy the day. And 12 o'clock is quiet. I'm working from 12 to 1, and I'm getting some things done. I might be in the warehouse late. I might be there early. So as long as I have flexibility, just be flexible in life. You know, it doesn't have to be so rigid. And just understand that everybody's not going to be home on time to eat all together. I'll eat by myself. When y'all get in, y'all go ahead and grab something to eat. You know, I might have already eaten before I got there. So just be okay with that. Be okay with everything not being okay. And you
see, I like how you said that. Be okay with everything not being okay. Yeah. Because that's something that has to be learned. I know we want our audience to hear that because it lets them know that things that they're doing, if things aren't set up in a prototypical standardized way, it is fine. It's cool.
Fine.
Like,
it's fine.
You're good. You're good. Fine. It still leads to success.
It definitely does. You know, as long as you're moving in your direction, you're fine. So be okay with that. Be okay with that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, it is your time to shine.
What you got coming up?
I'm glad you asked. So I have a few classes coming up, learning to grow mushrooms. The first one is October 5th from 11 to 1. This is adult time. This is, you know, to do some adult things. We're going to grow our own mushrooms. Take a tour of the farm, and this is where we can ask some questions. We also have mushroom kit pickup night, which is on Friday evenings from 5 to 6. This is where you can pick up your kit. We can chit chat about how to take care of your mushrooms and how to get the best out of your kit. I also have been invited to bring my products to the South Carolina State this year.
Hey.
And so it's going to be at the South Carolina, what's that? The
State Fair?
Fair.
Yeah.
South Carolina State Fair. So you can check out some of my products there. I'm going to have some kits, coffee, and a few other products.
That's amazing. I hope you do quite well there.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I always love going through the agriculture stuff there.
I will be there this year, so I'm going to make sure to stop by and bring my wife so she see it. Yeah.
So I won't be there in person, but they're setting up like a market. So they're bringing in local farmers. It has to be made or grown here in South Carolina, and they're going to display our products. So, go over there.
Yeah, check it out.
Stuff.
Yeah,
check it out.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And you know, this is our generation. You got to drop your socials if you have any, so people can know how to find you and see where to buy your excellent products.
Right. So my website is thepurplemushroom.com, thepurplemushroom.com.
How did you get you really got that domain?
Yeah.
That is wild. I thought it was wild that no one ever used that, because think about mushrooms and purple, and since the 1970s, nobody's touched that.
Thank goodness.
Well, people that sit on those things are looking for Ford and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're not their target exploit, because they're basically ransoming.
Yeah,
when
that's
they
what they're
sit on
doing.
these domains.
It's funny. The GoDaddy guy called and told me that I need to put some extra security on my site because they are now kidnapping sites
Yeah.
and holding them for
What?
ransom.
They'll
I'm like-
fake you out, make you think that you hey, you need to renew, and then you sign this thing, and then they transfer you to another domain, and bye-bye.
That's it. So I was like, really? He was like,
Put us up on game.
I just checked your resale value, and it's good. You might want to.
Oh, this is what I was saying. Like
Two-factor
literally
authentication.
nobody had that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He's
you
like,
can
you
hold
might
on
want
to
to
it.
put some extra
Yeah.
security on there. I'm like, okay, well, let me do that.
Yeah, just make them text your phone. That's all you need. That two-factor fixes a lot of stuff.
Exactly. And so that's what I have going on. We are located at 618 Prescott Road.
Awesome.
So if you're looking to purchase fresh mushrooms, Monday through Friday, 11 to 3.
Perfect.
And that's me.
And it's a cool facility. Like I've toured your shop, and like the capacity that you have,
Right.
you could be really pumping out a lot of mushrooms.
Absolutely.
Mushroom factory.
We're growing with the order. So as we bring more clients on, then we'll increase. So, like they say, grow slow so you don't owe.
Right.
Say that again.
Grow slow so you don't owe.
That's for the audience.
That's for the audience. You want to grow with your clientele. So there's no need for me to just grow mushrooms and I don't have anywhere to put
Well,
them.
and particularly in agriculture, like then you got to sell them, so that drives down the
You have
price.
to sell them.
So now your local price is down.
Yeah. We're not doing that.
No, don't do that to the market.
We're not going to do that one. Yeah, but mushroom grow, cultivating mushrooms, it's hard work. It's hard. The process is hard. We're dealing with fungi. We're dealing with mold. Once one thing catches on in your farm, it's out. That's it.
Wow.
For the next 6 to 8 weeks, it's over. You're trashing everything. And then you have to
you
start
lose a whole
over.
crop from some mold that got in there.
That's right.
Ouch.
So we have to make sure we stay on top of it. It's not easy. We have to regulate it. We have to make sure that we're pumping our spores out. So it takes work. It's a fun job, but it takes work.
I like that. It's a fun time. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes work. And shout out to my volunteers that come out to help me
There we go.
in the mushroom farm. I appreciate y'all so much.
There we go.
And if you ever in the market to volunteer, just let me know. Once again, it's thepurplemushroom.com.
Excellent. Well, we greatly appreciate you joining us today on the Hilltop Glow podcast.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Starting off season 5 strong.
Strong.
That's what I like to see. That's like to see.
And thanks for bringing your friend over here.
Yeah, thank you.
Doug really
you, Doug.
enjoyed it, So
Doug hanging out here,
Doug
man.
is hanging out.
Doing Doug things.
Well,
it's been awesome. I'm going to go ahead and say, man, it's DJ and what?
I'm Mike.
Behind the camera. Yep. And our esteemed guest.
Tatrina.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Till next time, make sure you tell somebody next to you that you love them, that you cherish them, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Hilltop Glow podcast.
Peace.
Peace.